40 days after their plane crashed into the Colombian Amazon jungle, 4 indigenous children have been finally rescued alive. The 4 siblings from the Huyoto indigenous community, aged 13, 9, 4 and 11 months, survived one of the most uninhabitable parts of the country in a remarkable feat of resilience against heavy storms, predatory animals and armed groups. These 4 have been dubbed Colombian miracle children by the media. In this video, we bring to you a selection of survival stories that grabbed the headlines because it involved children triumphing against all odds. The Thai Cave Rescue. The entire world was glued to the TV screens when news of members of a team of young Thai footballers trapped in a cave broke out. In 2018, the world held its breath for 18 days when 12 young footballers from Thailand were trapped inside a flooded cave with their coach. On 23rd of June in 2018, 12 boys went exploring in Thailand's Chiang Rai province with their football coach and ended up trapped deep inside a cave underneath a mountain. The Wild Boars football team, whose players aged between 11 and 17, survived on an elevated rock 4 kilometers from the cave mouth with hardly any food but sustained by meditation led by the 25-year-old coach, a former monk. It took 9 days for divers to locate the teenage boys inside the 6-mile Tham Luang cave in the Doi Nang Non mountain range. It took another 9 days for the entire team to make it out alive and into the bright glare of daylight and the waiting cameras to tell a story that inspired multiple films. Miraculous survival of toddlers in Australia. In December 2022, a 5-year-old girl was credited with an absolute miracle feat of survival, saving the lives of her 2 brothers by helping them after they were trapped in the wreckage of a car crash that killed their parents in remote Western Australia. Trapped inside an upturned Land Rover, the young girl freed the 1-year-old brother from his seatbelt, but the 2-year-old brother stayed trapped in his seat for more than 2 days after the accident. The 3 waited beside their dead parents for 55 hours in 30-degree heat until family friends found them by the remote road. They were badly dehydrated and still inside the car when help had arrived. Boy's survival in a Japanese forest in 2016. After misbehaving on a trip, 7-year-old Yamato Tanuka was left on the side of the road in a Japanese forest by his parents with the intention that it would be a brief period of punishment for him. However, thinking he was abandoned for good, the boy ventured off and ended up spending nearly a week in mountain woodland populated by brown bears. He was found after 6 days by 3 soldiers seeking shelter from the rain who had entered a hut to find Yamato curled up on a mattress 5 kilometers from the roadside where he had been left. This incident had gripped entire Japan and prompted a debate over when parental discipline turns into abuse. The teenage castaways of Atta Island. In 1965, a group of 6 schoolboys were marooned on a rocky island south of Tonga in the Pacific Ocean for more than a year. Bored of school, they had decided to take a fishing boat out one day. But after falling asleep, the boys woke up to a windy storm and water crashing down over their heads. They drifted for 8 days with no food, surviving on rainwater collected in hollowed out coconut shells until they drifted upon small island Atta on the horizon. By the time their rescuers arrived 15 months later, the boys, all aged between 13 and 16, had set up a commune with a food garden, hollowed out tree trunks to collect rainwater, chicken pens and a permanent fire. This was a remarkable story of young boys who did not give up in those distressing circumstances. These 4 incidents that happened over a long course of time are remarkable stories of determination and optimism in gloomy circumstances.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.